Hey everyone, it's Divine Readings with the Gypsy, and today's 31 Days of Tarot prompt is, what tarot spread are you working with right now? And quite honestly, I do not work very well with tarot spreads. I am a very intuitive reader. I make up spreads on a whim. However, I felt called to make my own deck interview spread, and also with this deck interview spread is to redo some of my interview spreads I have done in the past with some of my other cards and make it a more concrete deck interview spread. Whether it's a new relationship or an old, uh, reviewing an old relationship, I should say. And so, let's talk a little bit about the spread. And this is a spread that I just kind of was playing around with. Like, really, what do I really want to ask during a deck interview? And here I have, what are you teaching me? Which is right here in the center. And we have the Wheel of Fortune, or that says the Wheel of the Year on the card. But it's the Wheel of Fortune card. But this is kind of a mock interview, so I'm just kind of going through what I would do through an interview. And you would say, well, maybe this deck will talk about things that are a change of fate, to teach me the things that have changed my fate. And the second card right here is, how would you describe yourself in a reading? And it describes itself as a working deck. I would say that the Chariot in this situation would describe as a working deck or a hardcore deck that wants to be used everywhere and everything. And third position here is what readings you like to do. And it says, according to the cards right now, is it would love to do intuitive readings. And then, how best to work with you is the position 4. And it has the 3 of Cups, which you could say symbolizes it likes to work best in groups and emotional connections, maybe. And then, in position 5 right over here, it says, do you read reversals? And I have Swords and Wands as no, and Hearts and, which is like Cups, and Pentacles as yes, and Majors are, depends on the majors, or a maybe. And this one would say no, it does not want to read with reversals because it's Wands. And it says, what readings would you prefer doing, is position 6 right over here. And it's 9 of Cups, which is, it would prefer to do readings that has to do with emotional fulfillment, probably. And then position 7 is it a feminine or masculine deck, or gender neutral? Masculine is Wands and Swords. Feminine is Cups and Pentacles, and Majors are gender neutral. And it says this deck is very feminine, and I would totally agree with this answer. And your favorite element, and it's based on the suits. And so it says this card deck would recognize itself with water. And then it would be the outcome with our time together. And it actually, surprisingly enough, this is not the first time today I had the Hangman as my outcome card for this particular deck interview spread. So it's actually kind of funny that I did a mock interview and the Hangman kind of showed up, and that's so happens to be my year ahead videos. It would be, this month would be the month of the Hangman. And those are the kind of the spreads that I'm working with right now. And of course I've done videos in the past of the Romani spread, and it is a wonderful tarot spread. Basically, it's a 21 card spreads and 3 rows of 7 cards, and you could read it Lenormand style, or you could freestyle it, or have it as freestyle or structured. I'm trying to say as you want it. And so that's the spread I've been working with today. It's actually been a very fun reintroducing myself into a deck and trying to get to know what the deck would like me to do. I'm one of those people that believes that you could do interview spreads with your deck as often as you feel like it's needed, because your relationship with your cards might change over time as well as your taste and certain cards might change over time. Like for an example, this might be my to go to deck right now, but my next to go to deck might be like the Tarot Noir. And so every time you feel like you're drawn to a certain deck or so, you might want to do a new deck interview, just in case you're bouncing back and forth between the same decks and stuff, just to see if the relationship has changed. Just some suggestions, and a deck interview spread is what I've been working with, and you all have a good evening.